Saturday, December 27, 2014. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1983 Mercedes 240 diesel, picking up right now where I left off last time I was out here. I think it was actually last weekend. I replaced the fuel tank, and then I was going to replace the rear shocks, which is kind of the last thing I need to do before I get the rear seat into the car. Well, I was working on the driver's side rear shock, and I got the upper mount disconnected in no time at all. But then I discovered that the bolts on the bottom mount were kind of frozen in place. I got one out with some heat and I broke the other, and the other side of the car is kind of in the same condition. So I was working on the broken bolt with some heat and penetrating oil, and I actually ran out of gas for my torch. So I had to call it quits there, and then this past week, it's been Christmas week, so I've been busy. So I'm getting back to this now. So I'm going to get to work now, and I'll update you on my progress as I work throughout the day. Well, it's the end of the day, and I've actually accomplished nothing. If anything, I've possibly made things worse. The remainder of the bolt is still stuck in there. I've tried to drill through it. I actually have gotten through it, but that certainly hasn't helped me. I still want to try to remove what's left of the bolt, rather than completely drill it out and maybe tap it to the next size, which turns out might actually be what I need to do. So I'm calling it quits here for the day, but I'm just gonna pick up and continue this video tomorrow, and we'll see how everything goes then. Sunday, December 28th. It's late in the afternoon, but I'm continuing work from yesterday. I thought about it for a long time, and I think at this point I'm probably not going to be able to get that bolt out cleanly. It's about the worst rusted bolt I've ever seen, but I've drilled through it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to completely drill it out and either use a bolt and a nut on the other side, or I'll just tap to the next largest size. So anyhow, that's where I am. I know there's really not much I can show you, mostly because it's all underneath the car. I can't really get the camera down there, and so you'll just have to take my word on that. So I'm going to get to work now, and I'll update you when I'm done. Well, I have an update, and once again I apologize because everything's under the car and I can't really show you anything. But I was able to completely drill out the rest of that bolt. I re-tapped the hole. I'm using new bolts, and everything seems to be lining up fine. So I'm going to call this a win. I really should have had this done a week ago, but oh well, I can complete this now. And here's an added bonus. I don't know why I didn't think to check this before, but I actually tested the old shock absorber, and I compared it against the brand new one, and there was no difference at all. I mean, the old one really did not seem to be worn out at all, and I checked it. It was stamped made in Germany. It was a Bogie shock. That's B-O-G-E, which I understand is one of the OEM brands for this car. I don't think they all came from the factory with Bilstein. So, that being the case, given that the rear shocks actually still seem to be in fine condition, I'm actually going to remount the old shock and not even tempt fate with the other side. Someday I may end up dealing with this. Won't be today. So, right now I'm going to remount the shock absorber, and once that's all in place, then I can actually finally get back to working on the interior. Okay, here's my stopping point for the weekend. Basically, this whole past week has been a wash, but the rear shock absorber is back in and firmly in place. Like I said, I checked it out while I had it out of the car, and I mean, I've seen dead shock absorbers, I've seen worn out shock absorbers. This really seems to be in really good condition. So, like I said, I figured I would just keep these in place. Now, I'm not worried about getting this one out again in the future, should I need to do that. Passenger side, that's a different story, but that's not something I'm going to be dealing with now. So this is Mercedes Diesel Guy. Thanks for watching.